friends. I'm Scott Giles, minister hypnotist and the guy who shows you how to get help from the other side. The other side being the mental and spiritual worlds, which you access through your unconscious mind, which is the greatest goal-achieving mechanism ever evolved. You don't have to stay stuck or ill or be unhappy, because there is a power that can help. Well, today I'd like to chat about something that I often encounter when working with couples. When does a person have a right to keep something private versus does a person have a right to keep secrets in an intimate relationship? Now, one common place this often shows up is smartphone passwords. One partner demands the password so they can go through the other partner's phone to be sure they're not texting someone inappropriately or using porn sites or whatever, but refuses to do the same when asked for reciprocity. Now, people can refuse that password request, not because they're necessarily guilty of doing anything wrong, but just that it feels invasive. It feels that that's private, and another person doesn't have a right to demand access. The way most relationship experts come down on this is to say that you are entitled to privacy, but you're not entitled to secrecy in an intimate, committed relationship. Secrecy is the deliberate concealment of something because you know your partner would object. Now, we commonly use words like secret or private to mean the same thing, but in strict discourse they are different. In a serious relationship with another person, you are entitled to privacy, but not necessarily secrecy. Something is private if it concerns you and is no one else's business. Secrecy is, as I said, when you deliberately conceal something because you know it would hurt your partner's feelings because they have a reasonable opinion that it does concern them. So, if you're in a committed relationship, but you're concealing that you're texting other people or flirting online, that's secrecy. And frankly, I'll own this, I don't think that behavior is legitimate. You are concealing it because you know it would hurt the feelings of your relationship partner if they knew about that because they have a reasonable expectation that you would not be doing such a thing. All that said, on the other hand, if you are someone, as I am, who keeps a journal where you write down your innermost thoughts, you have a right to keep that private. Your relationship partner may not like the fact that you complain to yourself about them or other things in your journal, but that is something you have a right to keep private because your innermost feelings are no one's business but your own, and another person doesn't have a right to that level of access to your innermost thoughts. If your partner demands to read your journal, that's a boundary violation. Now, my wife of 40 years, Lindsay, she also keeps a journal. She keeps a physical journal as opposed to an electronic one like I do. So sometimes she leaves it lying around, but she knows I'll never read it. If she were to predecease me, I would schedule that journal for safe disposal, probably shredding or burning, but I wouldn't go through it. No one has a right to her innermost thoughts but her. I have no expectation that I should be able to access that, and I have no right to be upset about something she says to herself. But secrecy, that implies a break in transparency. You're holding something back from your partner deliberately, not because it's your innermost thoughts, but because you're doing something that you know your partner would object to. Now, life can be messy, and sometimes you can find yourself in a situation that's puzzling, and you don't quite know whether this is something you have a right to privacy about or whether it's committing the problem of secrecy. But I find if you sit down and think about it, think it through, the ethical option becomes clear. As an example, confidential professional information. That stuff is concealed in a sense that my wife and I, both being helping professionals, keep records on the people we work with, and access to those records is restricted by law. So it is private. We don't talk about our clients to each other, but it's not secret because neither one of us would be upset about what the other is keeping private about their own clients. We understand professional confidentiality. A similar situation would be in a relationship where one partner has a security clearance and the other does not. Another example. Lindsay's birthday is next month. I've got a really nice gift for her that I think she's really going to like, and I haven't mentioned to her that I purchased it and kind of snuck it into a closet somewhere when she wasn't around. I'm keeping the fact that I've got a really nice gift for her private because I don't want to spoil the surprise. But it's private, not secret, because she would not be upset to learn that I have a really nice gift for her. So the fact that I'm not mentioning it to her simply means I'm keeping the gift private to protect the surprise, but it's not secret. So that's the rule. You've got a right to privacy, but not to secrecy. Secrecy is where you conceal something because you know your partner would reasonably object, and that's not something you want to do. Hey, thank you for your time and attention today. I'll be back next week with another talk on a different subject. If you're wondering if I can be of help to you, consider working directly with me. We can work in person or online. Feel free to reach out through my website for a complimentary, no-obligation discovery call. And always use the full power of your mind because you deserve it.